Hey, what's up? It's Greg from Fisherman's headquarters, and today is Friday, May 16th. I'm up here in the Mid-Island Surf here, share an updated report with you folks. It's a great morning today. Good morning, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Stoked to share the fishing has been very good in the area. If you want to check back on some of my local updated fish reports here for the local Long Beach Island area, I threw up 3 reports in the past 10 days, and the fishing continues on now this week. So with the update I can share here, we got some bluefish, got some striped bass, and also some really good fluke fishing action right now in the local waters of Long Beach Island. Also have some black drum in the area, heard of a couple weakfish as well. Things are really happening, things are grinding on in full gear here in the mid-May timeframe. Waning off of the full moon here of May, I can share the fishing on the surf has been very strong. Once again, bounce back to those 3 recent video reports I threw up in the last 10 days. You'll see some action there. But I can share striped bass on the beach on Clam is a theme that continues here. Clam fishing off the surf has been very good this spring, and it should be good for the rest of the month of May here. I can say there's anglers also fishing some meatier baits like bunker and mullet off the surf, catching some bluefish, also some striped bass as well. Most of the striped bass have been on the Clam. Also anglers fishing some lures off the surf, catching some striped bass and bluefish. I can share we just had a fish weighed in from Carl Hartman, American Anglers. He weighed a bluefish, 10-pound bluefish in this morning at Fisherman's headquarters. So that was a Friday morning report that I could share there, a fresh report. I know he caught it last night. I think he was fishing mullet off the Mid-Island Surf. I know a number of reports have been sent in from anglers catching fish yesterday. Haven't heard many reports today. As you see behind me, definitely got a marine layer behind me, a little marine layer of fog. What I can share is this time of year in the spring, we have a sea fog kind of phenomenon, a marine layer sometimes in the mornings, sometimes it happens in the evenings as well. Basically what happens is you've got cold water and you've got warm, humid air. That moist, humid air moves from the land over to the bay or the ocean, and kind of that water gets saturated from that cold ocean air, and then you get kind of the moisture in the air becoming fog. So they call it sea fog, sometimes call it advection fog. For more details, you can check that out, but it's something to be aware of whether you are a mariner, say first-time boater or rookie boater, novice boater, to take note of. On some days, you'll get that. Sometimes it happens when there's no wind, like now there's very, very calm conditions right now, hardly a breath of wind in the air. Sometimes it will also occur in windy conditions, but something to be mindful of and take note of is fog in the springtime and fish in the mornings. It is right around, I think it's about 8:30. I just dropped my little guy off at school. So you see it's kind of burning off. The sun's out, beautiful day. There's very little clouds in the sky, but as I look to the west, to the bay, I see a big dense layer of fog over there, and also behind me. I was just up here about an hour ago, just checking out wanted to look at the surf, kind of see what it looked like, and it was much, much more dense just a short while ago. So hopefully that burns off here. Right now, I can share we got about a 2 to 3 foot ground swell out of the southeast direction. Got some beautiful water coming across the sandbars here on Long Beach Island. I can share about 10:30 today. It's high tide, so that's coming up in a couple hours. Right now it's a prime tide to be fishing. That last of the incoming and the top of the tide and the turn is really my best fishing so far this season that I've had. Not sure about you. If you want to share your reports below, I can say that I've heard reports of fish getting caught at low tide this year, dropping tide this year, but for me it's been best the last 2 hours of the incoming, right around the hump, the top of the tide, the beginning of the out. I can share the fluke fishing has been very strong. The fluke fishing has been strong on the surf, in the inlet, and also the bay. I believe my last report I shared, I got in a good fluke bite in the bay. So I won't dive into that right now, but I can share that Steve George yesterday weighed a 5-pounder in. Steve runs Night Strikes Guide Service. He's a local angler that fishes hard. Definitely helps people get in the game, people that are, say, rookie or novices that want to take their game to the next level. I suggest reaching out to him. He's a great surf guide. He's been fishing for a long, long time. Very passionate angler, dialed-in angler, expert angler. Also very involved in the fisheries and local fishing club, Berkeley Striper Club. I'm sure most of the audience may know him, but Steve weighed a beautiful fish in. 5-pound fluke off the surf is an epic fish by all standards. He also had a limit, so it's not just you know, kind of a one and done thing. He had some good quality fishing. He also had a limit. I think yesterday, or the day before, yesterday was the catch. Also the day before that. So he's been doing really good off the surf. Saying he's fishing the sands. So it's good to see there's fish in the sand. Also getting some good pictures sent in from up in the jetty. And there's a lot of anglers been up there. It's definitely a packed house, but there's plenty of rocks there, plenty of water to fish. Can share the inlet's been good. Also some action on the bay side, fishing the main thoroughfares and channels, early season spots, the holes and bowls in the bay. Can say I can share a report from Frank Cristelli, that's captain out of Beach Haven, but he also runs out of Staten Island too. Frank runs Fin Chaser Guide Service. Maybe you guys have seen his TV shows. Really good angler. He invited me to come fish a gray fish tag. Anybody doesn't know what gray fish tag is? It's a gray fish mounts. They make fish mounts, but they also run a nonprofit separate say company, organization, and they do little fish tags, little yellow, or I'm sorry, little green spaghetti tags. You may have seen the yellow tags. Those are the Littoral Society tags. You may have seen the pink tags. Those are the federal, I think it's NOAA, Marine Fisheries, I believe, does the pink reddish tags. But this is the green tag program. I guess this is the 4th or 5th year I've been part of it. I believe it's only been going 4 or 5 years now, but it's kind of an invitational tournament. I went and fished with store staffer Max and also Frezza aboard Fin Chasers with Captain Frank. He also brought his buddy Jamie. The two of those guys are also from the Beach Haven Marlin Tuna Club. We went out, fished out of the Highlands. Got some nice fish. It was definitely slow at times, definitely challenging at times. Big ocean swell yesterday. Also lots of fog. But we got around, checked some different areas, fished some different rips, and mostly fished lures. Actually, all of our fish were caught on lures until, say, the second half of the day. Switched over to live bait fishing. The outgoing tide was much, much better. The bait kind of came together, although it was kind of tough for a little bit of time there. But it got better as the day went on. I think we tagged, I don't know, 4 or 5 fish, something like that. Definitely wasn't epic fishing, but we had a good time, good fun time. I think Frezza had the biggest fish, which was a really, really chubby, I think it was 38-inch fish, but it was a monster for only being 38 inches. Monster tail, monster head, big old belly. Probably a female, whether it's pre-spawn, post-spawn, don't know, but it's got a nice tag in it. Swam back. Like I said, we tagged whatever handful of fish. We ended up not going in at the right time to kind of finish the day. We decided the fishing was good, and we had slower fishing earlier in the day. We really didn't stack up in terms of, say, points or quality with the other boats fishing the tournament. So we kind of put tournament fishing aside and just had good fun fishing there second half of the day. Stayed out past, say, check-in time. And had really good fishing. It was really good. Kind of fish came together on the bait. But that's really rare to bay stuff. Everyone share reports right there, but I was there yesterday on the water, so I figured I'd share a little bit. Rare to bay fishing's epic just about all the time, but yesterday afternoon got really good for us. And I know we kind of left them biting too. One thing I can share is if you are looking to get into some action here, you can check out the surf front with for fishing fresh bait, whether that's gonna be clam or bunker. Right now we have bunker. Right now we have clam. I can share that we had a little bit of a swell. We had some weather, obviously fog and stuff like that plays a part, but local bait guys, you know, we depend on them for bringing in bait, fresh bait, live bait, whether that's minnows, whether it's eels, that's clams, that's bunker. Sometimes we'll get deliveries and it's the same day. It's an hour off the boat. Some days we get deliveries and it's the next day. Clam boat goes out, fishes today because it's nice. They might not deliver till tomorrow. It all depends. Sometimes depending on the heat, the humidity, sometimes that bait can age quickly depending on how that supplier takes care of the bait. Sometimes we get bait delivered that's rancid. We have to, you know, throw it out. Or sometimes we get bait that is premium and it lasts a number of days. Some days we get a beautiful delivery on one day, and then we have 3-4 days of bad weather. Anybody who's fished bait, fishes often, should kind of know the trials and tribulations of fresh bait. It's one of the reasons why sometimes when it's rough, you can't get bait. You got to fish frozen, salted, or fish lures. For say somebody who's getting, say, just into the game, is kind of new to the game, new to fishing. Just want to kind of share those details. The reason I say that is because people kind of complain. So I was like, oh, the weather's beautiful out today. Where's the bait? Well, it's not getting caught today. It's getting caught the day before or something like that. Especially at this point in, say, the morning, we very rarely have bait deliveries at, say, 6, 7 a.m. unless it's from the day before. With that said, I can share we do have clams right now. were running low. Those are from before this, the blow, before the swell that we got in the water. I will be shucking what I have now. I know we sorted through them yesterday. I know we have another 20 bushels coming in today, later today. So I'm super stoked we'll have beautiful fresh baits for this weekend ahead. Also have a ton of bunker on order. Got 500 pounds from one supplier, 500 pounds from another. We should have a ton of fresh bunker, some beautiful baits. So we're loaded up for bear for this weekend. This weekend should be a really, really good one. We've had some really good fishing in the local waters here off the surf last few days, last few weeks. Like I mentioned earlier in the report, we're waning off that full moon. I'm super stoked to get into some good quality fishing here in local waters the next few days, right into the end of the month. Normally, second half of May is phenomenal. Normally, first half of June is phenomenal. The fishing has been very, very good. At times, I'll say phenomenal. At times, it's been kind of picky, slow. But for the most part, striped bass, bluefish, fluke. Fluke's been off to a great start. And also black drum fishing has been very good. If you've been out, you've gotten into the action, kudos to you. You got out recently, you want to share a report below, feel free to contribute, comment to the community. I know everybody would appreciate that. But if you haven't gotten out, you haven't missed everything. The Fat Lady is far from singing. We've got weeks left, but don't wait forever. We got Memorial Day coming up. You know, the beaches really get packed. We say that the beach goers, you can still catch fish during that. But for the most part, now's the time you want to be getting out there. Get out there, have some fun fishing. If you've noticed, I've been kind of scratching my neck a few times here. The gnats are around. I mentioned in my last report, when it's calm winds, also bayside, when you get low tide, the gnats are around. They'll chew you alive. Make sure you have Captain Ron's bug spray. On a day like today, even though it's overcast, a little bit got marine layer burning off here. That sun is gonna fry you. Make sure you put your sunscreen on, protect yourself. Also get a sun shirt with a little hoodie, something like that. Love to wear the AFCO sun shirts. Once again, it's great Fisherman's Headquarters. Hopefully these reports have brought value to you today and throughout the entire season so far. Hopefully you're getting out there and getting into some fun fishing. And hopefully you'll share a couple reports and comments below. And hopefully you will patronize Fisherman's Headquarters Bait and Tackle Shop located in Long Beach Island, right after the first traffic light upon entering LBI on the right-hand side. We're also open 24/7 for your shopping, for your fishing tackle shopping pleasures at fishermansheadquarters.com. And I also post these videos and some text blog reports at fishinglbi.com. So be sure to check that out. And if you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. Make sure you give a like and subscribe. I think about 30% of the anglers that watch the videos are subscribed. So that's a large portion of people that are not subscribed. So if you want these videos, you want to get notifications when I first drop them, when they're first released, be sure to subscribe so you get that notification and you get this information right when it's fresh, when I post them. Once again, it's Greg at Fisherman's Headquarters. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.